I remember maybe a half dozen times when I was playing in a huge arena. Sometimes it would almost feel like lightning. Electricity was going down my arm. It's hard to verbalize because it's not like being electrocuted, but it just feels, like electricity is going through my body. And it's probably because I'm surrounded with all these amplifiers and gadgets and giant PA and everything. That might have something to do with it. It's a fantastic feeling, and especially when I'm doing my guitar solo and I'm alone on stage in the front of an audience and, my guitar's smoking, I just kind of go away. It's almost like I leave my body for a minute and I'm floating above watching it happen. It's a great feeling, and there's nothing like it in the world. I grew up in a household with everybody played an instrument, and I was the youngest of 3 kids, so I was surrounded. My mom and dad both played piano. My brother and sister played piano, and eventually they took up like the folk guitar. And one day I picked up my brother's folk guitar and started strumming chords. He taught me a few chords, and I was digging it. And then one day I went to my friend's house, and he had an electric guitar with a little amp. And I turned it up to 10 and hit an E chord, and that was it. I was hooked. Sometimes it's hard starting out, but, if you persevere, people say to me, what's the first thing you tell young musicians, Ace? And I say, 3 words: practice, practice, and practice. Practice makes perfect, it's an old saying, but it's a truism. When I was young, I used to have to watch how I was playing, and it just felt so good when I got to the point, and I'm not exactly sure when that happened. It was early on, but, several years. When I got to the point where I could play a whole song without even looking at the neck. It just happened. It just flowed out of me. And that's a great feeling. What makes the Les Paul special is the fact that the neck is arched. If you try to lay a Fender on a table, you can, but you try to do a Les Paul, and there's a bow. It's really not good for the instrument. And, that creates the tension on the strings, and it gives you the sustain that I think the Les Paul guitar is known for. And I actually never had a Les Paul until I joined KISS, and we got our first check and picked up a Sunburst Les Paul Standard. And I played that for many years, and then eventually I progressed on to Gibson Les Paul Custom, and that's pretty much my trademark. This shows 3 pickups, but there's only one connected because I always use the treble pickup. That's indicative of my tone. Through a Marshall amp, pretty much cranked, without a lot of effects. Usually when I'm playing live, I'll have my volume down to about 7 or 8. Then when it comes for time for a solo, I'll just turn it to 10. And the sound's there. When people ask me, what's one of the proudest moments? And, it's so, for me, growing up in New York City, it was playing Madison Square Garden. Because I used to go there as a kid. You go to sporting events, you go see concerts. If you live in New York, you play Madison Square Garden, you've made it, you've arrived. That was probably that's the thing that stands out to me the most. One weekend we did 3 nights at the Garden, sold out, and that was like a triumphant weekend. Nothing really surpassed that.